we were talking about this earlier, and then you mentioned there was a cool story that you wanted to share, and I don't know if you remember this, but I told you let's hold off and then let's just talk about it in the podcast.
Hmm.
I wanted to talk to you about because your dad moving from India at that time with your family. Imagine if I had my family, if I had a 15-year-old, I wouldn't know how I would react.
Hmm.
But I know for sure that leaving your family and then going and starting a life in another country,
Yeah.
it's a risk. Even if you know you have a job, and it's still a risk because you're away from family. Nobody knows. It's nobody knows you're there.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. So respect to your dad for sure for that. Maybe we can learn a thing or two from him.
From him. Yeah.
So so please tell us.
So whatever I have learned from my dad is are always great things. Whatever he has achieved. So back in India, we were like a lower level middle class family in India. My dad used to work 7 to 7, 7 days a week, which is 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, not getting a day off, and still the salary wasn't enough. As I mentioned, I was in English medium. The fees is higher than Gujarati medium, right? Always English medium, you gotta pay. I think it's 3-4 thousand a month. Same thing for my little sister. So I have a younger sister who is 3 years younger than me. Same thing for her. So expenses were too much, and my dad and mom they're thinking that hey, how are we gonna tackle this? This is difficult now. It's getting more difficult and difficult. Now soon this guy is going to be in a college. How are we going to get the fees for college? Soon this guy is going to demand that hey, I want to go to Canada. How are we going to get the fees for Canada? So my dad he started applying different jobs. That was within the bounds of India. Obviously, he started applying jobs in Gujarat. He started applying everywhere. He's like, I want to do this for my family. And then eventually, my uncle told him that hey, at least go to Kenya for once and see how things are. He went to Kenya. He had few interviews ready where he wanted to give the interviews, and as soon as I think it was his third interview, the third company he was going to go and interview over there. A scared thing happened to him, which is a police caught him giving him interviews because you're on tourist visa. You cannot give interviews just like that, right? You're not on a work visa. You're not on a permanent resident status. You don't have a Kenyan passport. You're just here to see things as a tourist, not
Right,
give interviews.
right. Yeah, you're not
So
allowed. It's a
yeah,
tourist visa.
yeah, the police over there they wear a blue uniform, which for us coming from India doesn't look like a police, but they are police. So my dad is like, hey, where's this hotel? Asking a policeman, thinking that okay, this guy is not a police, this guy is a building security or something. And that guy is like, why are you looking for this address again? My dad's like, oh, I have an interview. Like, okay, come with me, let's go to the police station.
Did he not know that there was a you cannot do it? You cannot tell them that you were there for the interview?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I was very young back then.
Right.
This is like a story which I was told by my dad.
So they caught like they took him outside or they took him on the
They
side.
took him outside, and Kenya there is a lot of corruption. So obviously you gotta stay away from police as much as you can. Even if you are not at fault, you will be at fault if you're caught.
There's a lot of corruption at that time, probably
Yeah.
not so much as now, but
Now things are getting better, but
yeah.
yeah, it's a whole different world. So as soon as he was taken to the police, some of the friends they came in, they helped him, they got him out. It wasn't anything fancy. Like you can give interviews, as far as I know. That's why he was released, right? And then he was released, and the boss. This was the company where my dad is working right now.
So what do you mean by he was released?
He wasn't told anything. He was like, okay, oh,
He
you're
was he did they put him in jail or something? Or
no, no,
they
just
detained him?
sitting at a table.
Oh right, so they took him to the police station
Yeah, and
and
tried
they
to scare him off because they thought he's a tourist. He doesn't know Kenyan rules and
if they wanted to get
regulations.
money or something? Or
Obviously, yeah,
obviously, right?
hundred
Yeah.
percent, 100%. They're asking that hey, give me 5,000, give me 10,000, give me this, and then my dad obviously he has some local friends who he called to get him
Yeah.
help, and
Yeah.
those local friends came in time. They helped him, and finally he was like, okay, you can go, sir. Nothing fancy. There's no record of this on the paper. There is nothing on his background. So yeah, he was like, okay, you can go on, live your life. And the guy who was waiting at that hotel for the
Yeah.
interview
Yeah.
drove to my dad's place where he was living in
Oh,
Kenya,
right, right, right.
right? And then finally they had their interview. He was a good candidate and he was hired for the position, and he's still working at that same company
On the same day.
on
I
this
mean, not the same day, but
a day
same
or
day he went to the to interview, or
no,
other
I
day,
think it was the next day
but
when they,
same trip.
yeah, but the
Same
same trip.
same trip. Same
And when
same.
he came back to India, he was scared that okay, things are tricky in Kenya. How am I going to survive? But back of his mind, I want to do this for my family. That's what
Right.
he had, and then he's like, okay, I'm still going to go and live there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We that's yeah. I wouldn't know how would I would
yeah.
feel if I was in
Like
that
just
same
imagine
place.
you're in a country, you're trying to give interview, and they take you that hey, come with me.
Yeah.
How would you feel? Like you'd be scared, but he handled it very nicely.
Yeah.